Good morning, boys and girls. Today's read aloud is about clothes. It's called Wash and Dry. Wash and Dry. And it's written by Trish, Holland. You ever heard of wash and dry? Do you ever? Have you ever been to the washing machine in your house? Have you ever been to a laundromat? If you have, pay close attention to this story and see if you can make a text-to-self connection. And you're going to say, what? Okay. Text means book, whatever it's reading about. To self means you. Text-to-self connection means, can you connect with what I'm reading about wash and dry? Have you ever had an experience washing clothes? Have you ever had an experience going to the laundromat with your mom or dad? If you have, we need to share. Shall we? Let's begin with Trish Holland's story, Wash and Dry. Oh no, my muddy dog just jumped on me. I'm grimy and slimy, from cap to socks. Daddy says I smell like a wet dog. P.U. So, the one who's talking in the story is the little boy. And his experience getting dirty sounds a little smelly. I'll add my dirty clothes to the rest of the dirty laundry. I'm glad Mommy and Daddy will help me wash and dry my clothes. I wouldn't want to have to do this job by myself. And since he's little, of course he's not. You see, have you ever put dirty clothes in a hamper? That's a text-to-self connection. Luckily, I still had lots of clean clothes in my dresser. It smelled like a bag of lemons in there. I'll be glad when those dirty clothes smell that good. Now, the glare. This right here is a dresser. Do you happen to have a dresser? Do you have a dresser where you put your clothes? What do you have inside the dresser? Yes, but if you say clothes, I want to know what kind of clothes. Okay? I carry the stinky basket over to the washing machine. I hold my breath as I walk and try to think about flowers. It's not working, it says. I'm glad we have our washing machine at home. My aunt takes her dirty clothes to the rub-a-dub-tub laundromat. There are lots of people there, and the machines clink, clank, whistle, and whir as they wash and dry the clothes. My aunt has to use a lot of quarters to wash and dry her clothes. So this is what a laundromat looks like. Okay? Have you ever been to a laundromat? If you have, I need you to make a connection because that's what I'm looking for in today's read aloud. At our house, Mommy helps me wash my clothes. We put really dirty clothes in a pile to be washed in the washing machine. It will twist and twirl the dirty right out of the clothes for us. Okay? See, you put one for to wash and one for the drying. We put some of the delicate clothes in a pile to wash by hand. We swish and swirl the clothes in the soapy water. There are bubbles in my clothes and bubbles help my nose. And bubbles up my nose, I'm sorry. Achoo! What do you think makes bubbles? What makes these bubbles? Have you ever made bubbles? If you ever washed your hands with soap and water, that soap makes bubbles. So think about something when they're washing the clothes. What do they use to make bubbles? Excuse me. Before we can put the clothes in the washing machine, we have to sort them. We make a pile of the light colored ones to wash together. If we wash Daddy's dark red shirt with my white underwear, my underwear would turn pink. Yuck. And that is true. That would happen because one is dark and one is light. We make a pile of dark colored clothes too. If we wash my white socks with Mommy's dark blue pants, my socks would be a baby blue. No way. But that would happen because white colors should not be put together with dark clothes. We toss a load of dirty clothes in the washer. Then clunk, I shut the door. Mommy lets me pour dry soap powder in the hole at the top of the washer. Then I add the liquid fabric softener. Gloop, 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 gloop. See? Next comes the best part. I get to push the on button and listen to the machine start to work. Whoosh! I watch the sudsy clothes slosh around inside. I'm looking at my favorite book when I hear ding. The washing machine signal tells me that the clothes are ready. They are clean, but still squishy. Because remember, you're working with water. You're working with water. And clothes and water will make it turn that way. Daddy helps me with the next step, drying the clothes if the sun is shining. Excuse me again. My goodness. If the sun is shining, we hang them outside or on our clotheslines. I hand Daddy the clothespins. The clothes will smell like the sun and when they are dry. And it looks something like this. You don't see it here in New York because people don't have all of this right here. But there are certain areas that you would. When it's cloudy, wet, we dry our drippy duds inside the house in the clothes dryer. They flip and fumble and flutter and tumble in the heat. The humming machine is warm. Even our cat likes when we use the dryer. Okay? Because it rumbles. What does Mommy or Daddy use to dry clothes? They either take them outside and use clothespins to hang them on the clothesline and let the sun and wind dry it, right? But if the weather's not very well, then they use a dryer. Now remember, we here in New York, we use the dryer. Not because we don't want to put them outside. It's because there is no space to put them to dry. That's the reality of it. Suddenly I hear buzz. The clothes are dry, but they are in one big tangle. We all help to fluff and fold the clothes. I like to fold clothes into tidy triangles or silly circles. So now he's learning how to fold his clothes. Mommy and Daddy fold the clothes into plain rectangles or simple squares. They don't play with the laundry. I think they're missing out on the fun. And yes, we use shapes to make them fold. So it's more squares and rectangles than triangles and circles. Some of the laundry needs to be hung on hangers. Some of it needs to be ironed. The steam iron hisses while Daddy irons the wrinkled shirts. Daddy hisses back. He doesn't like this part of the laundry. Okay? So, do you have an iron board and an iron at home? Okay? Yes or no? Do you have an iron board in your house? While Daddy irons, Mommy tells me that a long, long time ago, people washed clothes by pounding them on the rocks in a river. I think I like our way of washing clothes better. Okay, that was back in the day when they didn't have a washing machine. They would go to the river and use the rocks to hit the clothes and wash them. My mom did that when she was very young. She used to tell me. Mommy says that people used to have to make their own soap. They would boil the ingredients in a big pot over a fire all day long. The soap from each batch would last a long time. After all that work just to make the soap, people still had to scrub the dirty clothes on the washboard in a tub. I bet doing laundry took a long, long time, and it did. So this is a washboard. Okay, that's where they used to use, what they used to use before the washing machine. Okay. My great-grandmother used a washing machine with a wringer at the top. When she cranked the handle, the wringer squished most of the water out of the clothes. Okay, so it looks something like this. You squeeze it right through. She'd hang her clothes on the clothesline too. When they were dry, she used a giant iron machine called a mangle. She'd crank that handle and the clothes would go in all wrinkled and come out smooth. And it looks something like this. Okay. I'm glad we don't have to work so hard at washing clothes. I can put my favorite outfit and not smell like a wet dog. Oh no! Here we go again. Who's after him? The dog. Is the dog clean? No. And who is he going to? He's going on the boy again to get his clothes dirty. What did you learn from the story? What did you learn from the story of wash and dry? What did you learn? What did I learn? I learned that people used to wash clothes at the river by hitting them on the rock. I also learned they had an iron board back then, and they used, what did she call it again? She called it a washboard to wash as well. Now, times have come very quickly, and so laundry now is a little bit much easier for people. But do you help Mom and Dad do some of those chores? Let me know. Just send me an email and let me know how you help Mom and Dad do the laundry. Because smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.